This Amateur Radio Roundtable is brought to you in part by ICOM America.
Well, hello and welcome to the Amateur Radio Roundtable. Today is Tuesday, April 24th. I'm Katie, WY7YL, and I'd like to welcome you who are watching live here on W5KUB.com or on YouTube or on any of our replays. So we are really happy to have you all join us. Hi to everybody in the chat room this evening. It's fun joining in and talking with you. If you're new to our show, please feel free to log into our chat room and join us. You can easily amend your nickname when you log in and put your name and call sign in and say hello to everybody, ask questions, and participate. It makes a lot of part of this show a lot of fun. I'd like to also let everybody know if you want to join, click that button for the Facebook group. We've got over 6,700 people on our group now, and it's pretty darn active, and we have a lot of fun on there, organizing regular gatherings on the radio. A lot of people have questions and answers for each other and helping each other out. So hopefully you can join us there as well. It's a really nice extension to our webcast, and it's a lot of fun too. We also are really happy that this show is simulcast on the world famous international shortwave station WBCQ 5130 kilohertz, which is located up in Monticello, Maine, which hopefully by now has had some snow up there melted and they are enjoying the spring. So with that, I would like to say we've got tonight, I'd like to say hello to Tom and Walter and Martin, and let me pass it over to the boss and see what he's got to say. Take it away, Tom.
Okay, thank you, Katie, for opening the show tonight. That was great, and I think you said we had 5,500 people. Man, we're over
like
6,500.
67, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah, it's growing about 40 or 50 every week. We're getting a lot of people starting to join the group there. We are supposed to have Riley on tonight. I'm sure Riley will join us, but so far Riley has not connected with us. But we'll get him in there. Dave Kessler is missing in action, but he may have thought we didn't need him tonight, and therefore just took the night off. I've got with me here in the studio. We got Walter with us tonight. You know, Walter's NR3E. Did I
Correct.
get that right?
You did. You did. Very
Walter
good.
changed his call a while back, and I don't know. I might ask Martin this in a minute, but when I grew up in the 60s with Ham, if you were a 3, you lived up in... Hey, Martin, where did you live when you were a 3?
It's up in the northeast.
I don't even know. It's Rolling Fork or Greenville. That was just before we moved to Hollandale.
Yeah, I mean, hey, a 3 would have been, where's a 3, up Pennsylvania or somewhere?
Most of it's Pennsylvania.
It was
Yeah,
up
up
in there,
north. And I was a 1 up in Connecticut till I moved out here and tried calling CQ as W1KRB, and nobody answered because they're like, who needs a 1? And then as soon as I changed my call to a WI7, everybody answered.
There you go.
Yeah, but you know, hey, now though, you can get your call, it'll look like you're anywhere.
Well, I went on the family lineage thing. I am the third in line. I am actually a third. So that's where the 3 came from.
NR3.
Rook 3. R3.
And Walter's son is the 4th.
He is 4.
And I asked him the other day, I said, is there going to be a 5th? And you don't know?
No time soon. How's that?
All right. Well, hey.
He's got to get a job.
You're gonna just be like, just about like Henry VIII, man, you know?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Are they going to put a song out about us?
Yeah. I'm Walter the 4th.
No, probably more like the Redneck Shuffle.
Yeah, I don't know, man. All right. Well, look. Hey, let me get back to let's get back to Martin. Let me switch the camera over to Martin, and if I can find the right one. Hey, Martin, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing fine.
Yeah. Now, Martin, you went to California this week. I think you spoke at some DX club or something.
Well, I did. It was at the Visalia DX convention. Good show. They had people from all over the world there.
Is that right? Well, now you were the keynote. Yeah. I think you were the keynote speaker.
No, I was just one of many speakers. The keynote was I forgot what her name is, but from Kosovo,
That's Dave.
Right.
and that was a pretty incredible story.
Oh, Jerry, was that Jerry?
No, Marty. It was. What's her name? Is oh darn it! I just saw pictures of that.
I'm gonna add. I'm gonna add Dave on here. Stamp. Get him in here real quick.
Okay.
Let's see.
You might be able to look it up.
I got him.
Yeah, it looks like it was a really good convention. I've been a few times on my Facebook memories. Just popped up from. We were there 7 years ago, and went out early and went with Chip and Janet, and we had planned a surprise for Dwayne at the banquet. Chip K7JA was the MC that year again for the banquet, and it was also the weekend of Dwayne's 50th birthday, and so Janet had arranged for a cake, and while Chip was doing his MC duties, he was able to sneak in his discussion about, someone's, half-century birthday, and then Janet popped out of a side door with a birthday cake, and the banquet hall of 800 people or so all sang happy birthday. It was a lot of fun.
Well, that's pretty cool. So, Martin, if you, I mean, I think you were keynote speaker, but what did you talk about, Martin?
Well, I really only have one talk that I give. It's the same one. I've given it so many times I can almost just say it verbatim. But I use a set of notes to make sure I don't change things too much.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Dave.
Well, hey, Dave's in here with us. Hey, Dave, how you doing tonight, Dave?
Doing great. How are you this evening, Tom?
Doing good. Doing real good. What have you been up to, Dave?
Oh, trying to recover from a little bout with some medication changes. Kind of thrown me off the air and off YouTube for a while.
Oh,
But trying to get back on top.
that's not good at all, man. I hope you're doing better.
Well, trying.
Yeah.
I think it'll be better through the worst part.
Good.
All right. Well, I know Riley will show up here in a little while. Actually, I told Riley he would probably come in a little later because Martin would probably want to be first and go to bed early.
Yeah.
But I hated to do that to Riley because Riley's on East Coast time and Martin's on Central. Well, hey, Martin.
Yeah, but Riley's retired, so he can pull it off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know all about this retired thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Martin, you seem like the past months I've been trying to stay in touch with you. You've been traveling a lot. You go to Atlanta, you're in Birmingham, you're out on the West Coast. How can a ham be a ham if you always gone? You got any? Do you ever operate from a hotel or anything?
Well, I have. That's how you be a ham. Just take it with you. I've experimented a lot with operating from hotel rooms, and what I find works really good is a loop. We have a little box that you can attach a wire to it, and you can hang it over the door or over some curtains, and run as much power as you want to. The big problem with operating from a hotel room is all the noise that you pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And the other,
so this loop you're talking about, it's not a hard metal like aluminum tube, is it? I mean, it's
no, what I use is like a number 10 gauge multi-strand wire, and we have a loop tuner that makes it really efficient. It's
okay.
it's a I forgot what it's called now. It's a butterfly capacitor.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have any rotating contacts.
So this loop, you said you hang it on the door, because I know probably some hotels you might not be able to open windows in some of these hotels.
Yeah.
And some you can, I think. But
Yeah,
so
no,
you
I
just
don't-
hang
I
it,
don't
you just
open.
kind of, what do you
Yeah.
do? Just stretch it out kind of in a circle or a square and just hang it in a room? And
Yeah,
Sure.
well, what I use are some clips, and I just clip onto the curtains on the window, and just
Oh,
form, whatever shape, square, triangle, just something that's close to being round,
Okay.
and it works pretty good.
Well, that makes sense to get it over by the window. And so, about how big a diameter do you normally make this?
Well, I use about a 12-foot piece of wire,
Uh-huh.
and
Well,
I don't know what the
if
diameter
you know
is.
your
It's
math,
like
you can take a 12-foot piece of
3,
wire and
4
you can
feet.
tell me what diameter that
Yeah.
would be.
Mm-hmm.
Martin's a pilot. Martin.
yeah.
Walter's a pilot. He ought to be able to figure that out real quick. 12-foot piece
Yeah.
of
Be
wire.
about like
and a
that.
circle. It won't be that big, will it?
12 feet?
12 feet length.
Yeah.
Length, total 12 feet would be about like that.
It might.
So it might
I
be.
think it's going to be shorter. We'll have to figure that. Somebody in the chat room, if you will, take a 12-foot length of wire and tell us what diameter that circle will be. That's the quiz tonight. We'll get that.
Divided by 3, it's 4 feet.
What is it? 4 feet in diameter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's about
Be
right.
about right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Now, Martin, you have a product, I believe, that's designed to take a piece of wire and create a sort of impromptu QRP loop. I think
Yeah,
I
we
did a
do.
video on that.
Yeah, that one works pretty good, but that one uses a capacitor that's got plastic insulation on it. I mean, it works, but the air variable capacitor, the one that we make, is a real high efficiency loop.
Mhm.
But that portable QRP one is, it's real small and easy to carry around, and it'll tune just about any piece of wire.
So what kind of radio do you take with you like that? Do you have, is it QRP or something where you don't have to take a lot of power supply and stuff with you?
Well, I usually take a radio that puts about 10 watts out,
Okay.
like a 703, but recently KX3, KX2, or KX1, but I can't find my KX3. I put it somewhere, now I can't find it.
Oh man.
Oh, no.
Well, I tell you what, you've got so many radios. It's probably right in sight. Look on the shelf in your office, and you'll probably find it.
Might be on your desk.
Yeah.
Well,
It could
Martin,
be
I
on my
used
desk.
that Zygu radio that you sent me to test.
Oh,
That is a very, very nice radio. Unfortunately, I had to send it back, but it was a very nice one. I like that for a little portable radio. Batteries included and everything.
So I've always
And
wondered. I've always wondered about that. It looks like a little well-built Chinese HF radio. Now, you got to evaluate it, Dave, and looked at it. I guess all the menus are in English, and did it all in.
Oh, everything
Look
is
good?
beautifully done. It's beautifully conceived, beautifully constructed. My only regret was that MFJ didn't give it to me. I had to send
Well,
it back. But it was a fabulous radio. I think I made a video or two about it.
Well,
it's a
Martin's
software
thinking
defined
about.
radio.
Martin is trying to save money because he is thinking about building a new corporate headquarters down there, and if he gives all this stuff away, he won't be able to build that corporate headquarters, and he wants to do that before he retires.
Yeah, well, if I have to send the radio back, I can only do one video on it, and that's that.
Oh, well, that's a good point. We should send it back to you.
Yeah, I'll make some more videos. No, truly, I did like it. I felt there were just lots of features about it that were good. One thing I learned I didn't really grasp, I guess I knew this, was around the world, most foundation license
Wagyu or whatever.
hams only have privileges up to about 10 watts or so on HF. And so these little radios are designed really for these people. They've got a very broad market in mind. And we're the better off for it because it's got a lot of great capabilities. I was very impressed with it.
So, Martin, let's talk a little more about your portable operation there, and like in a hotel, and with that loop, that piece of wire. You're running about 10 watts, and do you jump around different bands, or do you kind of stick with, like 40 or 80, or what do you do?
Well, I usually operate either 20 meters or 40 meters, and usually on CW. One of the other problems you have, especially when I go to Atlanta and try to operate from my daughter's house, is the circuit breakers. The new circuit breakers, they just trip.
With that
Really
QRP,
can't do much about it.
with the QRP rig.
Yeah, with the QRP rigs. I forgot what they're called now. They're not circuit breakers. They
There's some kind of
I don't
interrupts, I
remember what
guess.
they're called.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well, that's an interesting thing that your little radio is tripping them. But so you operate
Yeah.
40, 20, and you're still a CW guy. I think you work some CW still.
Well, I do. I like CW. I'm not much good at it, but I just like it. I've been listening to the 100 most common words at about 25 words a minute, and I'm starting to be able to recognize whole words.
Well,
And I learned Morse code the old way,
Yeah.
where you learn the EISH and, learn to write it down. It's hard to break that habit.
well, I learned the same way you did 60, 50 years ago. But the problem now, Martin. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to take that code training today that teaches you all the new words of today, because there's a lot of words today I might not want to hear.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, that's true.
Speaking
like,
of, sorry, Dave, go ahead.
retirement plan, taxes,
Yeah.
those are all common words these days.
That's right.
Yeah.
We went to Fargo this past weekend, and one of the fun things we did, we went out to go visit our son and went to an escape room. It's a little fun thing if you've ever done one of those, where they lock you in a room and you have to figure out various clues to get your way out, and you go through different stages, and you have an hour to do it. So we were locked in with another couple there. So there were 6 of us total, and in the room we were looking at this big, and of course the room was themed cats, which was pretty cool, but there was a big metal board, and up on top were magnets, and they were round and then rectangular. We're all looking, I think that's Morse code. And wouldn't you know, we all are looking at it and we knew they were numbers, but didn't know which ones they were. But then when we solved another clue, we got the cheat sheet so we could figure it out. And then we got a code so we can open up a lockbox and get to the next clue. But thought that was kind of fun. We're like, here we are in the middle of an escape room. Like, here we are, there's 3 hams in the room, and none of us know what that is. I got to get back to studying my Morse code again, because I'm like, I really want to be able to look at things or hear things and know what the heck it is instead of guessing all the time.
Martin,
Yeah.
does the cleaning crew or the people that come in your room ever question, what are you doing with all that stuff strung up on the curtains?
Well, I take all that stuff down when I get through operating. But all the wires and everything's all hanging on the floor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but talking about Morse code, I learned the Morse code on a regenerative receiver. And it was a Nike space spanner, and y'all might remember what that is. But it had a band spread knob on it. And once you tune the station in, you couldn't move your hand. If you moved your hand, the station disappeared.
Oh,
Yeah, well, that's
yes.
the good old radios we had back then. There's a real difference from what we had back in the old days and what they have today, Martin?
Huge difference.
Well, I ran into that this week.
Yeah.
I'm cleaning house, getting ready for the local club's tailgate party, which is coming up in early June. And I found a box full of old video stuff. I had a great big old VHS camera that you had to plug into a separate recorder. And so I was playing all that. I've got I went down to Walmart to get their cheapest television, which was $88, to use as the display in my teleprompter. So I pulled that out, and you don't have to give these things HDMI. You can give them the old yellow cable,
Yeah.
just like before. They're all backwards compatible. And I was playing a tape that I had taken with one of these of my kids' marching band from 1997. So we're only talking 21 years ago. And oh man, oh man, oh man, people would actually buy that stuff? It was horrible. I mean, if you get a close up of your kid, you go, yeah, that's my kid. Otherwise, he's the dot that's the third pixel over.
Yeah.
But so I went down to Walmart today and bought a little gadget that I'm going to use. Roxio puts this out. It's VHS to DVD.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull all that up and digitize it and give it to my kids.
Yeah, I say that's just a capture card. I use several of those here to go from HDMI to USB for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it was interesting, because I was thinking, I was talking to my wife today, in fact, about cameras. The very first cameras back in the Matthew Brady days and so on were stunningly fine instruments that took very, very sharp photographs. But they were very complicated, they were expensive. And as you worked your way through history to the Kodak Brownie down to the Kodak Instamatic, it got cheaper, easier, and poorer quality. And I read an article in the 90s saying that now that the digitals come out, the bottom is in sight. It's just terrible. Remember the first digital cameras were 640 by 480.
Yep.
And then what proved them wrong now are the newer cameras, especially cell phones. The cameras that you use today, you buy a nice camera, a Nikon or a Canon or something like that, and it's better than anything Matthew Brady ever had. And so I think we've gone the other way, and I think we're going the other way with radio too. I can remember we had the big tube boxes back in the 50s, and then all the companies hired people to pull parts out one at a time to see if the radio still worked. And they would keep doing that even if the quality went down because they wanted the money to go down. And we all remember what the cars in the U.S. were like in the 70s. They were terrible. And then the Japanese came along and said, no, the name of the game is quality. And things got better and better and better in cars. Things got better and better and better in radios. And now look at the stuff that we're coming up with. It's just phenomenal. I was listening on this HD1, Retevis Islands HD1 radio to the TAC 310 talk group. And I'm sitting here, and not only, this is ham radio, mind you, not only is this allowing me to listen to somebody in Stockholm, but it's got his CV right there too. His name, his address, all of this other stuff is coming through too. I mean, ham radio has changed. And, it used to be we had to use Morse code. Now it's a luxury. It's sort of like, I don't know, the caviar at the end of the meal, something. It's just this wonderful nostalgic thing that's got a wonderful throwback to it. It's changed. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old.
Well, hey, we're kind of getting. I won't say we're getting off track. We're talking about technology and all the changes. You mentioned Muntz TV. Let's see. No, somebody in the chat room just mentioned a Muntz TV. Let me tell you something. I grew up in a TV shop with my uncle from when I was 5 years old on up, and he worked on his favorite TV was a Zenith. He thought that was the best built TV.
Is that the best one going?
Best one going. This is back in the 60s,
All right.
And then in a TV, in a Zenith, it'll have 15 tubes in it, And then I can remember when he started bringing Muntz TVs in for repair. You take the back off a Muntz TV, and it only had 4 tubes in it total.
Uh-oh.
Where the others had 20 tubes in it, man.
There goes job security.
Yeah. Anyway, boy, I tell you. Hey, Jill asked in the chat room, where do you get that HDMI to USB? Jill, just go to eBay and do a search for HDMI capture card. And you can buy them at Walmart. You can buy them at Best Buy. You can buy them for almost nothing on eBay. There's a whole bunch of them, and it's just either HDMI in or composite video in, and it comes out USB and plugs right into your computer as a plug and play. So, Walter,
Yeah.
what do you got going, man? I mean, you operate any portable?
Some. I got that the DMR radio a couple of weeks ago. That's been fun and somewhat of a learning curve with the programming. The cable did not work, the one that came with it, so I've got another one en route to me.
Okay.
So hopefully the next one will be a little more operable.
But you're making your little go kit type thing to take places, right? You've got a little small.
Well, it's going to be a backpack.
Okay, for
I'm,
backpacking.
I'm
yeah.
collecting pieces to kind of get like a station and a backpack.
So if you sometimes you hang over in a hotel at night with your flying, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
You get stranded. Why don't you take that radio in a backpack with you? And like Martin is saying there, put your loop or something up on the curtains and operate from there.
You know, that would be fun. I need to look into doing that. With the TSA rules, I don't know if there's any trouble. Martin, you have any trouble getting that through security?
I don't think I've ever taken a radio on a plane with me.
I'm sure you could check it, but
Well, we don't.
Yeah, you could check them.
We don't check.
But
I know of some people that travel and they take they have like a Pelican case and they take them on as a carry-on, and basically they just some of the things that have been suggested is they have a copy of their amateur radio license in with the radios, also the instruction manual for that particular radio, and then of course have a way to turn it on because they may want to check to see that it actually is what they say. But depending on the airport, certainly like where the big conventions happen, they're used to seeing a lot of radios through there. But I believe it was Sean KX9X when he came out to our convention last year. He brought his radios with him. He actually brought a few radios and antennas and what have you. And I believe he brought it on as a carry-on, so we didn't have to check it. But I can always find out and post some info on our Facebook page if that was Sean. And if obviously anybody else has any other suggestions, but that's the people that I know that have traveled. That's usually how they've done it, is a Pelican case that they can, slide right under the seat in front of them.
of course, I guess Walter, you still have TSA issues, but Walter doesn't have to go through these. You don't go through the TSA thing. You're the pilot, man. I mean,
We have our own security that
Right.
we go through, headed out to the flight, and then when we get back, we go through security again to
Again.
get out the gate just to go home.
and when I jump seated, same thing. I
Same
had to go
thing
through
you
the
did,
metal
yeah.
detectors when I
Yeah.
got back to Memphis. But
And then if whatever station you go to, you normally have to go through security to get out and back in on those stations as well.
But it may be FedEx. It might not want you carrying that. You can check with them.
Yeah.
But, see, we could carry anything on the planes, and how many years? 20 years ago, we had a rogue pilot get on our plane with a spear gun and a hammer, and tried to hijack and crash the airplane. So restrictions came in pretty tight after that. Hey, do a search on Google for air emergency. There's a complete I don't know, it's history or National Geographic, one of those shows that has the entire flight of the FedEx flight and the fight that went on in the cockpit while he was trying to kill the pilot and the co-pilot, and how they flew the airplane just about upside down. This is a DC-10. So hey, check that. It's called Air Emergency. And I remember when that happened.
Or look up FedEx Flight 704.
Flight 704. All right. Well, let's get back. Let's get back here to. Let's see if Martin hadn't. Let's see, Martin, are you still awake there?
Barely.
Barely awake. Okay.
I understand.
Well, I know you hadn't been feeling great, Martin, lately, and man, when you don't feel great, you don't like being on the show.
Well, I had bronchitis for about a week and a half, and that really got to me.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I was thinking about being Walter, come down and seeing you again. But if you're sick, I don't want to come down here. I'll wait till you get well. I'll see you up in Dayton here in a few weeks.
I don't think bronchitis is contagious, but I'm taking my medicine right now.
There you go.
It looks like it, man.
That's right.
Who prescribed that for you there, Martin? Was that?
Host Dr. Jew.
Is that yeah?
Dr.
That's
Jew?
self-medicated.
Dr. G,
Yeah.
you know. Dr. G.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, let's ask everybody in the chat room if they know what Martin's middle initial stands for, F. If you know what Martin's middle initial, F, Martin FQ stands for, type it in the chat room here, and we'll get Martin to announce it in just a few minutes. Martin, think anybody's going to guess it?
Well, I don't think anybody's going to believe what it is.
Well, let's see. Well, they're saying Dr. Walker probably prescribed it.
Dr. Daniels.
Yeah, Dr. Daniels, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, okay. So, all right, they're posting a link
There
on
you go,
flight
yeah.
705.
705.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we'll talk about more of that later. That was an exciting day that day. You know, you don't think of a DC-10 flying upside down, but to throw the guys around that were in the fight and the struggle, the pilot was doing that, and I think at the same time his eyes were covered in blood, so maybe he did it by accident, turned it upside down. I don't know.
No,
Man.
it was intentional.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Oh.
I missed something.
Yeah? What'd you miss?
DC-10's flying upside down.
Yeah, one of our, well, he took it, I think they rolled it, it wasn't a complete 180, I think it was a 170 or something like that. It was pretty close to upside down.
He went from about 70 and rolled it over to about 135 and did a split S.
And
back- back-
then he
back towards
lost
Memphis.
an engine cowling, it fell off the plane over Forest City.
I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah.
going through all
And
that.
we got hammers hitting people in the head trying to kill the crew. We got spear guns. And, we got fights. We're fighting on the floor. We're fighting on the walls, and we're fighting on the ceiling.
This sounds like a movie.
It
There's a
does.
movie. There's a complete documentary
documentary
movie.
on it.
If you check flight, was it
Yeah, flight FedEx 705.
705? It's
Yeah.
You can find it probably on YouTube, and there's a whole show about it. It's about an hour and a half show that takes you through every step, and the
If-
pilots
posted
were-
a video.
When
for
did
link.
this happen?
94.
April 1st of what year?
94, I believe. 94 or 96. I think it was 94.
yeah.
Okay.
And you know,
Well, there was a movie that Denzel Washington played in where he flew a plane upside down.
yeah, I don't know
to-
about yeah.
Says here it was actually, April 7th was a beautiful day for a cargo flight back in 1994, or at least Captain David Sanders would have thought so as he was making his way to the airport.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a link in the chat room that Jill posted.
And
so that's,
if I had been on that flight when they landed that thing back at Memphis, I think I would have. When we opened the door, and the chutes went that. Did the chutes go off automatic when you open the door, or you have to blow those chutes, don't you?
Well, if you, yeah, it'll go by itself.
Okay, I was going to say I'd just throw them out the door because it's about 30
No.
feet down there.
You open it, it's going.
Oh man, I would have thrown him to the.
we've got a lot of guesses in the chat room for
Yeah. Okay.
Martin's
let's see if we
middle
got
name. I see a
Martin's
few
name.
in there
Let's
that I
see.
believe are correct.
Martin's middle name. Uh-oh. Now, I don't know. Bill WZ1L. I think he was privy to it.
Yeah, I
We
think
had
so.
Bill and I don't know if we talked about that one day at lunch, Martin. So we're not going to count Bill. Well, he's done said what it
Well,
is.
let's look in Wikipedia.
All right, Martin. You want to tell us
Yeah.
what your middle initials for?
Okay, what were some of the guesses in
Well,
the
we've
chat
got-
room?
Frederick, Francis, Flora, Free, Frank, Fitzgerald, Fun, Full, Franklin. I think that's about it. We got a bunch of funds in there.
Well, but
That's right.
he
I
was-
can't believe somebody guessed that. but my
well,
middle
we
name is
had
fun.
we had lunch one day, and I think that was discussed. So what we
I think you shared it on a show once also.
Well, we may
Oh.
have, but anyway, your middle name's Fun. Have you had fun in your ham radio career?
I have had so much fun. It's unbelievable. Yeah, especially sitting here with all of my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
like this one.
Well, I'm still looking for Riley, and he is a no-show tonight. And I sent him an email, and reminded him about the show, and he said QSL. Now, for an old ham, QSL means I got that and I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened to Riley, but hey, maybe it's Cat ate the Cat 5 cable.
You'll have to cut his pay.
You know.
Right.
Maybe
Cut his pay for next time.
maybe we'll get him on next time. Yeah. So, hey guys, next week we're going to have Glenn Popeil with us, and usually the show goes off the rails when Glenn's here. Of course, it's kind of going off the rails tonight.
It kind of has.
But
We've lost focus.
we've lost a few guests, and we lost focus tonight. But hey, I'm going to open the phone lines, man. Let's see if
okay.
anybody wants to call in. Let's just make this a fun night. Martin and Dave and Katie, I'm going to open the phone line, and let's see if anybody wants to talk to you guys. So let me put the phone number up there if I can find it. Let's see. Boy, you would think I could do this better. Phone lines, call. Okay, there we go.
There you go.
All right. Hey guys, call if you want to talk to us, call us on the phone. We're going to do this tonight for a little while and see where the conversation goes. 901-286-1116. And hey, if you're listening on shortwave, call us, 901-286-1116. And you're listening to Amateur Radio Roundtable. We're on every Tuesday night on W5KUB.com. If you got internet, you can join us.
What is the shortwave frequency again?
So on 5130, and it has a terrible footprint out in your state.
Well, I was actually listening to it last week.
Oh, were you? Were you able to hear us on there? 5130.
30.
Now, last week Emmett tuned in, and boy, it was loud and strong in the St. Louis area. So, but I've got the footprint of that, and it's not. It fizzles out pretty much toward the Midwest out that way. Let's see what we got here. Okay.
Peekaboo's crying at the door.
All right.
I took on another job. We've made some changes here in the state with our Aries program, and I decided I needed to volunteer for something, so I said I would be the EC for my county. So
Caller, hold on
I'm
just a
now
second, please.
relearning and rereading and everything all about Aries, and going to learn about some of that and how I can help. I'm apparently the only registered Aries person in my county right now, so I have a little bit of work to do. But so if anybody has any advice for me, feel free to send me some notes on Facebook about that. If you kind of got an Aries group up and running from scratch, which is, I think, pretty much what I'm going to have to do out here. But we've got a bunch of new hams, and we have a test session coming up in a few weeks, so we got a few more hams. Jerry, WI7 WI7JB is just a miracle man when it comes to giving classes out our way and creating a whole bunch of new hams. So I plan on hitting all those people up at the class or at the test session in a few weeks and see if I can have some interest, see if anybody's interested in that. So I got to get myself a little bit up to speed before that time.
All right. Well, hey, now don't get too busy in these other jobs. You have a commitment on our show on Tuesdays. Who do you have on the telephone?
We got a caller. Who are you? Who's called, please?
Hello, Tom. This is Russ. Kilo Golf Zero Bravo Kilo, KG0BK, and Dubuque, Iowa.
All right. Now, Russ, you're the pirate radio station guy from the 60s, right?
Okay, yes, we'll go with that, yes.
All right. Now, hey, Russ had, even when I was in college, I put a pirate station on, but I can't admit that. Well, Riley's not here tonight, so I can admit that. But Russ, you put a pirate station on in your town, and you started selling advertisement, didn't you?
That's not what I called for, but yes, if you got me cornered, yeah. That was our downfall. We were doing fine until we started selling ads for $1 a week.
Oh, man.
$1 we put you on 2 or 3 times a night per week.
Hey, back in $1 a week would do good. Martin, how much did you pay for your first what do you call it, your factory? What do you pay a week for your first factory, Martin?
You mean for the ad for the factory?
No. Your facility. You know, when you started building things, your very first. How much do you pay a week? How much?
I paid $16 a month.
16 a
50 cents
month.
day.
So that's about four. That's 4 weeks. So that. Now, see, you should have teamed up with somebody like Russ right there on a pirate station. He could sell ads, and that would have paid. That would have paid
No,
for.
I like that idea.
Hey, I want to talk in a little while. I want to talk more about your $16 a month factory. But hey, Russ, go ahead. What's going on, Russ?
Well, not a lot. Katie was just before, when I was calling, was talking about the RES and thing and getting something going there. Just a quick thing, our group here in Dubuque, and this was about a year and a half ago, we put out a bunch of pamphlets and such. Anybody interested in ham radio? We had quite a few responders, and we were able to raise enough money. We gave everybody that passed, these were not, get that down. We were able to raise enough money we could afford to give everyone that took a test and passed their tech test, we would give them a Bofang radio, 2-meter radio, so they could get on the air right away and have some fun. We did it all in one day. Well, they studied some before, and then we had a instructor come in and basically instructed them all day, then gave them the tests, and we had, there was 2, I think, out of, I'm not sure if 32 people's right, but let's say around 30 people, 2 of them did not pass. Everybody else passed. And we've got about half of those on the air, maybe. So it was a good thing, and hopefully it helped. But that's not what I called for. What I called for, hope that helped you, Katie, maybe a little.
Yeah, thank you.
What I called for was just, thank you. What I called for was just wondering if anybody's had any experience with the Microbit X40. I've just been having a ball with that. Anybody even heard of that? I know probably you have, Tom.
Yeah, well, you know, I built several of them. We had Farhan on the show several times. Dave has built several of them. How do you like it, Dave?
I put some videos together on it.
Yeah,
it's a
Dave,
nice little radio.
I did see some of your videos. I was going to get the 40, and a friend of mine here in town says, no, hang on. I think they're coming out with something else. And then they came out with this one, and boy, I'm glad I got this one. It's just been a ball playing with. And I've got the S meters. It looks like a professional rig, but having a lot of fun on QRP. Not that I would start off anybody on QRP, but if you've been to see some ham, it's really a fun project, and just want to know if anybody else was having some fun with it, or if they've just kind of put the kit together and said, okay, there it is, and threw it in the closet.
So, Russ, if you check out the archive videos on our channel, you'll see a couple videos I made with my first contact. And you were talking about not being able to do a lot of talking anywhere. My first contact was with South Africa on 40-meter sideband. And in fact, over a period of 2 months, I only made 3 more contacts, and I talked to South Africa all 3 times. So check that video out on W5KUB, and you'll be amazed. It wasn't even in a box. I had the board laying on the table, and the little wires coming from it, and I had the little computer microphone on about a 2-inch piece of wire, and I was holding it, and I was putting
it's not so much the radio. The receive is unbelievable. In fact, I've got a Yaesu 440 or 450, and this one beats. If I have a hard time hearing it on the 450, I can switch over to the Microbit X, and I can hear them better on Microbit X.
It's got a great receiver. It's got a hot receiver in it. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how well that thing receives. And you know, you ought to think about.
I just wanted to see if anybody else had any fun
Yeah.
with it. And of course, it still is all antennas. Like Tom, you apparently got a great antenna system. There you go. I see showing. That's the pie tin thing, or the cake pan thing that that he showed. Yeah,
I
that
just
was
mounted
pretty
it on the
neat.
cake pan. There's a little bit of wiring underneath, not a lot. I put a fuse in it because I had trouble with the BITX 40, just about burned the thing up.
So Russ, you need to get the
I've got the microphone. I call this my pen mic, because that mic element's connected to the pen mic, and it's got the little switch right there for push to talk.
And guys, that's the switch. That's the switch in a microphone parts he sends you, and it's so small, but it works great. And hey, Russ, you ought to order you the Micro Bix. It's 40 meters. It's 80 through 10 sideband CW, all that. It's called the Micro Bix. You already tried.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Tom. That's what I got. I was talked out of the BitX 40 because this new one was coming out, so I ended up with the Micro BitX.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want this really one at sideband and CW, and very nice tuning. It's got a better tuning arrangement to where you can tune. Let's see here. Oh, I've got to do some adjusting, but it's got a rotary encoder for tuning, so you don't run into the problem that you ran into on the BITX 40 of the tuning getting carried away on you and having to do workarounds and stuff. This has just got a real nice little thing. You just, as long as you keep turning it, it tunes. And if you can push button on here to cause it to change modes, change tuning speeds, things like that. And it's got a keyer built into it too.
Well, I'm kind of a
continuous
programming
tuning, or is there a
person,
band switch?
so I had to reprogram it some, and then also stole some ideas from, I think it was CEC. I'm not sure. So I can go down to 1 hertz now to tune it up if I want to, or up to 1K if I want to tune it up at 1K steps at a time. But it's just really fascinating, and I think anybody interested in hammering it all, and it's a kit, but it's not a kit. It's probably a good starter for somebody, and you'll really be happy with yourself, I'm sure, once you've got it. And except you didn't get the blue display. It's the only thing I've got to complain about.
I changed my display out. It just plugs in, and I had a couple other displays. I just swapped it out.
Yeah, the display works fine. I still got the original software in it. There's lots of other software possibilities for it. To answer Martin's question, it's one of the things you push on the digital switch, and you get various questions that come up here, and one of them is band. You can switch the bands that way.
I see.
Well, Russ, keep us posted on that and how it's working out for you. And
well, I'm glad that somebody was trying it out, and just wanted to throw it out there in case somebody wasn't aware of it, and not trying to be a salesman or anything. But this is the most impressive thing. I built one, and I didn't build one. I built a transmitter back in when I was licensed for 40 meters as a Tech Plus. I built one on 40 meters as a CW, and really had a ball with that. And it put out about 40 watts, and I used 2 510s in it. That's what I'm trying to figure out, why this 2 510s won't work at 40 watts, but he's got a little different circuit. And I was on CW too, which makes a difference.
I think that they would do that, but you'd have to put a much bigger heat sink on it, and you'd have to raise the voltage up to 28 volts. You can probably approach that power.
Oh, yeah. Well, Tom, thanks for having me in tonight. I was curious about that. And Katie, good luck on your endeavors with getting some more new people in. And I see the ARRLs now also trying to maybe helped in getting some of the new hams on HF bands, and that's really pretty controversial, so we won't go into that. And thanks for having me on the show tonight.
All right,
Tom.
Russ, thanks for calling
Thanks,
in.
Russ. Good night.
Thanks for calling in. Okay, hey, everybody, stand by a second. We'll be right back with everybody in just about 1 minute. Communicate with the best. Communicating has never been so much fun than with ICOM. From D-Star to SDR, ICOM uses the most advanced technology in their radios. The SDR you've asked for is here. ICOM's new 7610 is a high-performance RMDR with the ability to pick out the faintest of signals, even in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. The new ICOM IC7610 is a direct sampling, software-defined radio that will change the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. It has an independent dual receiver with 110 dB RMDR. Communicate with a new D-Star communications device. Easy to operate, the ID31A Plus is available in silver, red, or gold. With it, you have worldwide digital communications. You can share pictures and text messages. It's waterproof, compact, lightweight, and tough. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios. Okay, guys, we're back here. And, hey, I need to make an announcement here real quick. I got to throw this out, man. It's going to help us out a whole lot. We'll be going to Hamvention in 3 weeks, and this is our 37th year there. It's our 17th year to webcast it. We're making a webcast a big deal. We're going to have over 40 hours of live streaming. Our astronaut friend Doug Wheelock is going to be with us again as a co-host Saturday. Let's see, I've got a picture here of Doug, if I can find it. There he is right there. There's a picture of Doug. He's going to be with us Saturday, maybe Friday afternoon if he can get any time. So come by, if you're up there, come by and visit and see us and meet Doug and get your picture made and autographs and all that kind of good stuff. Now, I need to do this again. I want to show everybody what we got. Usually we give out, and we're going to be giving out about 60 prizes to our viewers. MFJ has been a great supporter of our show for a number of years now. There's a number of MFJ prizes there, but we've got about 60 more prizes to give away. All you got to do is when we call your name, if you're watching, Hambot calls your name, you just say, "I'm here," and you win the prize. But this trip is very expensive for us. It cost us thousands of dollars. That's kind of hard to believe. Thousands of dollars to put this on, but we work totally for the show. 40 hours live streaming. We don't buy anything. We don't sell anything. We try to put the show on for you. So we'll be live on the road on Wednesday. Let's see, what date will that be?
16th.
Wednesday, May the 16th, a 10-hour drive. We'll be live. You might tune in like 1 year where we had the police pulled us over doing 89 and a 70, and everybody in the chat room was taking up a collection to bail us out of jail. I'll tell you the story later. It worked out okay. We didn't get a ticket, but there was a lot going on there. But anyway, Thursday we'll be live all day, 10 hours driving up there. We'll try to keep it under the speed limit. We're going to be trying Remote Shack. We're going to have HF in the truck using Remote Shack that I've got from Martin, and we're going to try to be on HF the whole way. So if you're watching us drive and you're in a chat room, we can coordinate a frequency and we can try to work you. I suspect we'll have a lot of people on HF that day. That's Wednesday. Thursday is setup day. May the 17th is setup day. We'll set up and be live probably within a couple hours of getting here that morning. There will be a lot of people come by. People like Bob Heil and Gordon West, and maybe Martin will be there Thursday. Just different people are going to come by, and hey, they'll be on the show during setup day, so come by. And then, of course, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the show day where Hambot will be giving away a lot of prizes. Now, back to what I originally wanted to talk about. All the prizes are free for everybody, except we're putting one prize up as a fundraiser to help pay the cost of this trip. This was donated to us by a comment by our friend Mick out in California. This is a Comet CAA 500 antenna analyzer, a very nice antenna analyzer. Retail value about $450. So For every $10 that you guys donate, we're going to put your name in a very special hat just for the drawing of this fundraiser. And if you donate $20, you get 2 tickets. If you donate 30, you get 3 tickets. And hey, if you donate 1,000, I'm gonna give you more than 100 tickets. If you donate 1,000, I'll give you 101, maybe even a little more. All right, but that's for the CAA 500. You do not have to be present to win. We're going to pick the name. If you're not in a chat room, don't worry. We will we'll still ship it to you, and that just helps us raise the funds to pay for this trip. It's very expensive to put this webcast on. Guy from New York won it last year. Katie pulled his name. Katie, you probably remember pulling it. And he was in the chat room last week, and he may be in there this week again. I forget his call, but our winner may be in the chat room tonight. Anyway, hey, donations for this prize, just go up to the top of our page where it says donate, and you can click on that, and you can use PayPal, you can use a credit card, and that'll help us cover high cost of the trip. We really appreciate it. Also, click on the Facebook link above and join us on Facebook. We've got about 6,700 people in our group now. We'd love to have you. It's just a great ham radio hangout place. And so that's enough for me right now. Let's see. As you notice, Walter has deserted me. Walter's working on something over here. He'll be back with us in a few minutes. So let me see. Let's go back to our remote guest here and see what's going on, man. If you guys are still there. So Martin, are you asleep yet? Oh, let me turn your audio up. I turned your audio down a while ago because y'all were talking.
Okay.
How you doing?
I just got a signal in my earphone, and I think the battery is about to run down. So if I disappear, that's because I can't hear and can't talk.
Okay, well, it's getting late. It's getting bedtime here for a lot of people. So we appreciate you staying up this late with us tonight. And like you say, you've been traveling all week and catching 5 o'clock in the morning flights, and I don't think you've been sleeping much this week. But it's always great to have you on here, Martin. Hey, Walter, what's happening to the telephone over there? Are we not? The phone lines are open. Let me put the number back up here, 901-286-1116. Let's take another call and see who they pick. Let's see if they pick Katie or Dave or Martin. Let's see who they're going to pick here. Who do you think they're going to pick when they call Walter?
Probably Martin.
Think he'll pick Martin?
Yeah.
I think they'll pick Katie. They may pick.
I think they'll pick Katie.
They may. My money's on Katie. Although,
I think they'll pick Dave.
It
My
might
money's on
be
Dave.
Dave. Here we go. We got one. Okay. Yeah. Who's on the phone?
Hey, Tom. This is Bill, WZ1L.
WZ1L.
Hey, Bill.
Hey,
Hi,
Bill.
Bill.
How you doing?
Hey,
Hey,
Bill.
Martin. Nice to see you again, bud. I got to come back down there to Starkville there. I want you to take me back to that restaurant there where I had that Reuben there, I want to come back.
Well, come on down.
Hey,
Come on down anytime.
Hey, Bill. Walter and I drove down here a few weeks ago, and we had Martin take us to the same place. It was good.
It was good. It was. So we missed you, Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't make it with y'all. But anyways, hey, Martin, I bought one of your remote tuners, and that little, you got this little doohickey there. I think it's the 4116 there that
To buy
put
us
in
tea.
line. You put in line there to going to the tuner, and I burned it up.
How did you burn it up?
Yeah, I did. And I just bought that thing
5,000 watts will
maybe
do that.
a month and a half ago.
That's the power inserter. What do you call it? The bias T. The bias T. He had
Bias
smoke.
T.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had smoke coming out the bias T. So, Bill, did you ever
That's
figure
part
out?
two.
Did you ever figure out if the coax maybe was shorted or anything going on?
Well, that's something that I got to figure out. I now I got to pay $260 to buy one of his antennas so I could check my feed lines and everything else.
You mean antenna analyzer?
The multimeter said it was good, so I mean, I figured, what the heck,
Yeah.
And but
Hey,
I was
Bill.
I was just curious, Martin,
Bill.
if I bring it with me to Dayton, can I get a new one?
Yeah, sure. We'll swap it out. We have the no matter what guarantee for a year. No matter what happens to it, we'll give you another one or fix it for you.
The no matter what means if you pour gas on it and burn it, Martin will swap it.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do to it, we'll fix you up for a year.
Hey, Bill. Now, but Bill, this isn't the only problem. Now, I was hearing from high above that some church was complaining that you're coming in on their intercom system during the service, man. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I bought one of his 132-foot end-fed dipoles. And,
yeah.
and I tuned up on 40 meters for the IOOK net on 7.185 at 10:30 East Coast time. That would be 9:35 your time, Tom. And I get this phone call.
So, Bill,
on my cell phone, and I said to myself, "Who's this?" And I heard this lady say, "You're coming through the church."
So, Bill, I got to ask a question.
The condenser mics that they got in the ceiling over here. I go, well.
So, Bill, let me ask you a question. And I've asked a couple times, and you've never responded. Are they actually hearing your voice or the sideband, or is it just a buzz? What are they hearing?
They are actually hearing words.
Okay, now, Martin, I think you'll back me up on this, Martin. There's this FCC type certified deal for all this home equipment and everything. And if back when we studied for our license, and audio amplifiers do not have RF detectors. They don't have radio frequency detectors in them, and you're not supposed to pick up an RF signal and modulate voice. So most equipment today you buy, amps and stuff, PAs and stuff, has that little tag on it that says, this system has to accept any interference. You anything to say about that, Martin?
Well, first of all, it's a pretty complicated process to demodulate single sideband. I don't know how they heard voice on it in the first place. But you're right, though. They're supposed to accept that, but nobody does.
Yeah. They always blame the ham for it, even though there's a label right on their equipment that says they have to accept it if it happens. But there's a lot of things that can cause that. A corroded bolt or a poor solder joint on a wire acts as a diode, and it can demodulate that RF. And Bill is saying that they recently added some condenser mics. Now, I don't know if the condenser mics are what's causing the problem. It could be anything.
Well, I have heard of people who have gold teeth that can hear radio stations in their head.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's I've heard that too, where the filling actually picks up the radio station and you can hear it without a radio.
Did Bill hang up?
Yeah.
No, he's still.
Is that him?
Bill, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Well, I sent a note to Bob Heil, and I said to him, I says, well, Bob, I says, you know about condenser mics and stuff there with all your music, doings there with the James Gang and the Eagles. I says, is it possible, I says, that I am, causing, interference, I says, with the radio signal? And he says, there is no RF in those condenser mics. And I said, okay. I said, so what would you suggest I do? And so I don't know. There was like 3 or 4 people that made recommendations. I disconnected the ground to the ground post there of the electrical box behind the desk, and I was told to make a counterpoise with what was it, 66, 34, 21, and something else there for the various bands, 80 through 10, and attach it to the ground post of my rig and give it a try. But I'm still in the midst of that. So.
But Bill, it could be a simple fix like at the PA system at the church if they just ground the chassis. That might stop it.
Well,
you
that
just don't know.
was another thing. I haven't been over to talk to that guy. Their next choir rehearsal is tomorrow at 7:30 at night, and I'm going to go over there and I'm just going to nose around and see what's going on, because I remember, what was it, back in the late 70s, there was a lady who lived behind me there. She had a CB radio, and she had a tower in her backyard, and she used to come across the wireless mic system that they had over there as well.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But I just, I've been a ham for 30 years, and nobody has bothered me until just recently, where they put these 2 additional mics in the choir loft over there. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to look and I'm going to see what they're talking about. And Bob Heil told me, he says, you can buy a microphone. He says it would be great. He says for the church. He says, and I looked it up and I says, oh, so maybe about $300. I don't know. He's saying that they could fix it for $2,500. I said, if you took the whole damn thing out altogether and just let them sing, I said, they're supposed to be singers. I said, and when I was a kid, I said, you could hear them all the way in the first pew. I said, back in the day. I said, if they got that old that they can't sing, maybe you need new singers.
Well, hey, all I can say is good luck on this, and I know you're working very closely with the church and trying to be a good Samaritan, and you're not telling them to take a long walk off a short bridge, but I think they've got a problem over there that needs to be solved, and it's hard for people to understand that. Hey, keep us posted on on the outcome, okay?
Well, Bill, you might try some.
Hopefully, by the time I get to Dayton, I'll have this resolved.
Yeah. Okay. So, hey, we got another call coming in, Bill. Let me
know one way or another.
Let me grab us that next call coming in. He's been holding for a long time. Bill, thanks for calling.
There you go.
Hello. Who's on a phone?
Hey, this is John, KI7 WTL, near Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, John. John, what's your call? KI7 WPL.
WTO.
Whiskey Golf Lima.
Okay, WBL. Okay, yeah. Hey, how's it going, John?
Golf Lima.
Yeah, it's going real good. So I have kind of a combination call here for both Martin and Dave. I notice now that in the recent QST magazine that MFJ now has a hex beam. And I'm kind of curious as to the comparison between the hex beam and the
cobweb. I bet you're going to say cobweb.
Yeah, the cobweb. And I'm curious as if Dave has done the antenna testing and that on his Easy NEC. As far as the patterns and all that, to see how the two compare.
No, I haven't done either of them on Easy NEC. However, I do have MFJ's cobweb antenna up right outside my shack, and it's right, I guess, at this point, my favorite antenna. I have not yet tested one of the spider beam antennas. The spider beam antenna is actually designed to be a directional antenna. Whereas the cobweb is not. The cobweb is unidirectional. And I don't know, I really like mine. I've got the one from MFJ that had 20 through 10, and then they came out with a mod kit that added 30 and 40. And so I've put that up out there. I had some fun and games getting everything tuned up, but I got everything tuned up, and I've had that on the air versus my regular station antenna, which is my butternut vertical with, it's got about close to 40 or 50 radials. So it's a really good antenna. And I get conflicting results. One time, most of the time when I do A/B testing between the Cobweb and the butternut, I like the Cobweb better. But I did a little bit of testing on Whisper. I put the Cobweb on for 24 hours, and then I put the butternut on for 24 hours, and I get a few more stations on the butternut. So I don't know. I like the Cobweb better. It's a cool antenna in that it looks enough like a clothesline that my wife doesn't think it's an alien from outer space. And the neighbors aren't complaining so far. They are kind of curious what it is. It's just, it's only up at 15 feet. It does really well. I'm very pleased with it.
Yeah, and
I really would like to compare it to a spider beam.
Well, the hex beam.
I've not been given one to compare.
Yeah, the hex beam is quite a bit larger, and it's directional. It's a 2-element directional beam, where the Cobweb is the elements are a half wave each, but they're folded in a square. So for 20 up to 6 meters, the square is no more than about 9 feet square. If you add the 40-meter mod on it, it's going to extend it out to maybe 15 feet square, something like that, I think. But I built one here, and the Cobweb works really great. It's omnidirectional. I compare it with all the different antennas I've got, and it performs just about equal, and you don't have to rotate it.
Yeah, it's real nice antenna. I like it.
Well, let me say this: the hex beam, the spider beam, is a 2-element antenna for each band, so you get some gain, forward gain, and you also get some front to back ratio on it. So when you rotate it, you can concentrate your signal to the station that you want to listen to and reduce any interference from the backside of it. Now, also, we just brought out a 3-element, and the 3-element hex beam will go from 20 meters through 6 meters, and it's 6 3-element beams that are stacked. So, it's a really good high-performance antenna, and it's equivalent to a 3-element Yagi. And I'm really surprised we haven't sent you one of the hex beams, Dave.
Oh, send it along. It's getting warm here. It's getting good antenna weather.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get some out to you then. We also gonna bring a 2-element hex beam for each band. We also have a model that will have 30 meters and 40 meters. It's only 1 element for those 2 bands.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, John, did that answer your question?
It did. And 2 more things for Dave. In fact, Dave, I got your email from yesterday. Thank you again so much for your videos to help me get my my general. I just got my general.
Congratulations.
And also, you should, and since you mentioned your wife and the clothesline and that, see if you can tune up those sheets and that to where it makes your Cobweb there a little more directional. Maybe that'll help.
I have it in the one place in the yard that she doesn't complain, which oddly, because she doesn't see it in her normal course of the day, except that it's out where all the other neighbors can see it. But it's out of her line of sight.
Let me let me tell you how I built.
You that up on the roof now?
No, the cobweb. I tried putting the cobweb up on the roof. No, that was a bad idea. I picked up all the noise from inside the house. I mean, the noise floor just skyrocketed. So now it's sitting 15 feet away out that window right there.
Guys, let me tell you what we're doing with the cobweb. We built the cobweb here, and if you watch the show, or you can go back some of the previous shows, you can see how we built one. But we didn't put it on a mast. I've got 100-foot trees all around my house, and we just threw a rope over a limb up about 50 feet, and we pulled that hex beam up in the air about 50 feet, and that's where it's sitting up here, and it's working great. John, thanks so much for calling. We got another caller coming in.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Let's see, is our caller still here? Okay, maybe he dropped off here. He was holding quite a while.
He did.
901-286-1116 is the phone number. The line's open. Give us a call. Again, guys, we're getting excited about the Hamvention webcast. Walter's going with us. And this will be your first time, I think,
it will be.
To go to Hamvention. And you're going to like it up here. You're going to see it's...
Get to play in all the mud.
You're going to... Well, it might not be mud. In fact, of course, we're going to be inside where it's dry. I didn't get out to the flea market last year at one time. We were so busy with everything else. Plus, it was pretty muddy out there. My understanding is they fixed the mud problem out there. And we hope to have Hamvention back on here, Dara back on here in the next couple weeks to talk about... we've got a call coming in here. You want to grab that?
Let's get that.
And who we got on the call?
Hey, Tom, it's Jeff. Hey,
Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
In
Hey, Walter.
3VE. That's Jeff.
That's Jeff.
Up in
Jersey.
New Jersey.
It's Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
So what's happening, Jeff?
It's a question. I heard Martin say it takes a lot to demodulate a single sideband signal, talking about Bill with his church problems. And, I've got issues with my wife downstairs listening to the surround sound system. And I'm trying to figure out how the best way I can do to remove my voice from her television programs.
Let me ask you something, Jeff. Does it come out the speakers when the unit's turned off?
No.
Only when it's turned on, huh? I've seen it come out speakers with the unit turned off. So, hey, Mark, what do you think, Martin? I'd say a bunch of ferrite cores on all his cables.
Yeah. Let me first say that one of my earphones have already died, and I might.
Oh, I think he hit the wrong button.
Yep, I think that's the end of it.
Yeah, yep. I think he hit the wrong button. So, I don't know if he wants to get back on here. We could try to put him back on.
Yeah, I'm going to drop out here. Just say 73s to
okay,
everybody.
Dave,
Dave, thanks a lot.
73, and glad to have you on again tonight. We'll see you later. Let me see if I can get Martin back in here. Martin's still online.
He may be out of power.
He said his earphones are running out of power. So
one already had, so the other one may have gone with it.
Let's see. Hang Katie up. Katie's already dropped off.
Dave's gone.
Go out with this.
Hey, Martin, are you there, Martin?
Oh, well, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I hear you. I'm not getting your picture now, so I don't know if your camera's turned off. But anyway,
let me see.
We have you. There you go. You're back. Well, Martin, we're keeping you up really late tonight, but we've had some pretty good discussions, hadn't we?
Yeah. Let me answer Jeff. I think. Yeah, but if you get some clamp-on ferrite beads, you might try those on all the cords, the wires that goes into and out of your TV set, and that might help. And you may need to put more than one on the cords. I would say you might try the power line cord first. 2 or 3 of those might help out.
Well, hey, another thing too, Jeff, if you got big enough cores, wrap multiple turns through them, because each time you put an extra turn through it, it's just like adding another ferrite on there. So if you can open that thing up and get 2 turns or 3 turns in there, that's even better.
Okay, so the real question is, and I've bought a bunch of ferrites from DX Engineering, great group, and I was thinking about putting one on each speaker out, because there's 8 speakers going out of this thing. It's 7.1 surround sound. But you're saying try all the other cords also. In other words, the power cord in, power cord in the subwoofer.
I think you need to put them on. I think you need to put them on any cord that goes in and out of that thing, because you don't know where it's picking it up. I put it on, like Martin said, put it on the power. Snap a couple on the power.
Right.
If you've got VCRs and things that are plugged into it, or tape machines or something, put it on everything. That goes into that unit.
Put it on everything. All right.
Yeah. And Jeff,
Even if you have a switch, HDMI switches, just put them on there. Just try those things on every wire.
Hey Jeff, another thing you might try, if you can unplug some things, see if it goes away when you unplug some things, and that will tell you maybe which cable is coming in on.
Good idea.
So you don't think so? It could be coming in on just 1 or 2 of the cables, not all of them.
Right.
Interesting. Okay.
And
Got my work cut out for me, because I can't work 20 and 40 meters with her watching TV. She's got to go in the other room.
Well, and that's probably pretty typical. And I would imagine you're running a kilowatt, aren't you?
Yeah, more.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty typical. That stuff happens, but hey, tell your wife to go look at the little sticker on the back of the unit that says that it's not your fault and that she has to accept any interference that it causes.
Yeah, she needs to.
And then you'll be accepting all the other interference.
Right.
The FCC really took the easy way out when they made that sticker, didn't they?
They did. They sure did.
Right.
All right, Jeff.
Guys.
Hey, Jeff, we'll see you. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Martin, I appreciate it.
We'll see you in a few weeks up there. Jeff is also going to help us do some video.
Oh yeah, I'm all set up.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, Jeff.
Thanks. Good night.
901
Good night.
901-286-1116. We'll take maybe one more call, and then we'll end a formal part of the show. 901-286-1116. If you're listening on an international shortwave station, WBCQ, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email to tom@w5kub.com, tom@w5kub.com. This show is on every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. And you can join us on the web if you've got internet. Just go to W5KUB. So the number again, 901-286-1116. One more call. Who will the lucky person be? I wonder who they'll want to talk to this time.
Yeah,
Martin?
exactly. So, yeah, by process of elimination.
Martin's the only one on now.
If he's got any power left?
Well, my earphone both went out, so I'm listening on the speaker on my iPad now.
Okay. All right. Well, good.
He's had a great connection tonight.
Yeah, he really has.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, not getting a call.
No.
Well, I'm going to take the phone number down. And Martin, it was just great having you on tonight. We really appreciate you joining us and always great discussions. Did I say that? Discussions.
Absolutely. Well done.
Yeah.
I always have a good time visiting with everybody.
All right, and we will see you. We'll see you in about 3 weeks up in Xenia, and you're going to come by and you'll get on a show with us up there.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Very good. Martin, good to see you. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Okay. Good to see you too, Walter.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Have a good day.
Okay, well, all right, guys. I think we had some pretty good discussion tonight. Try to help some people out with some problems they're having, and gave some interesting announcements out. Now, Walter's going to be manning while we're driving up. Walter's going to be doing a lot of things. Since this is his first trip with us, Walter has to drive the 10 hours. He also is going to be the radio operator, camera operator.
Sure.
all those things, okay?
No
I'm
problem.
going to sleep most of the trip there.
I'll just nap off and on.
Yeah, let's see. That's usually what I do when I drive. I nap a little bit. All right. Anybody got any last comments in the chat room? We'll open up Hangout real quick. We're just a few minutes early, but we're going to open Hangout and just see who's there, but we're not going to stay long. So let me see if I can bring Hangout up. Got to do a couple mouse clicks here, and we'll be on. Hangout right there. Well, there's Jeff. Let's see if I can. Hey Jeff, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Your audio is a lot louder here than it was on the phone.
But yeah, the audio on the phone was not that good. But
yeah, oh, you're really barreling in here.
I can talk softer.
Yeah.
That's better.
Oh, that's okay. I need to.
I want to turn the game down on that.
All right. Well, let's see. Oh, hey, there's Teresa. Teresa just joined us. How you doing, Teresa?
I'm surviving. How about y'all?
What do you mean
Hey,
surviving?
Teresa.
What's going on?
Finals are next week.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Oh, no, not those.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Oh yeah,
here.
finals.
Let me see if I can let me get my picture and, oh, that's the wrong one. Let's see. Let me get Walter and me in this picture. If I can figure out how to do it. There we go.
So Tom,
Yeah.
I had a reason for asking that question tonight.
Yeah.
Just gotta get my crimpers, and I had purchased from DX Engineering because I got really coming out of the back of that stereo. I don't know if you can see this, the ferrite with the crimp on the barrel connectors.
Yeah.
But there's no way I can. The cabling that I ran for the speakers is so thick, the insulation, and I don't know why I did that. I just something I bought at Home Depot, 10 years ago. It's quarters thick, the insulation. So there's no way I'd be able to wrap it around. So I got about 6 or 7 turns around these ferrites.
Well, will it go through one time?
Well, I already got them going through one time, so it doesn't do any
you
good.
just have
So
to
I bought
use
more, and I did this. So I'm gonna pull them out of the back of the receiver and put these on each line out. And I also have them one time on right at the speaker, which did nothing. So that's why I'm curious. So once you get to the speaker that doesn't know it, you need to get it before the wire.
Well,
do you understand my question?
Your speakers are they're going to be unshielded probably, and they're heavy gauge wire. But that's a place it could be, getting in the system through the speakers, the speaker leads.
Right.
But with it turned off,
Yeah, when it's turned off, I get no interference.
Okay. So it's actually getting inside the box somehow and going through the amplifier stages, most likely. Well, just bring it up to Xenia in a few weeks and sell it.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah, my wife will like that. Well, I won't be enjoying television if I can do that. So it's getting into the box, you think, before the speakers, because I guess it's coming out of all the speakers. I'm not down there, obviously, when it's happening, so I can't tell where it's coming from. I guess I need to bring a friend over here and have them transmit while I'm down there.
But Jeff,
just to find out exactly where it's coming from. That would be a smart thing to do.
It can still be the speaker wires. It can be going the reverse direction in the speaker wires into the unit, and then and then coming back out. So.
That's a box of $125 worth of ferrites.
Yeah. Unhook some of the cables and test it and see if you can narrow it down to what cable it might be coming in on. Hey, who knows? It could be picking it up on the AC cable, AC line,
Right.
you know, you could just get a filter to plug that into, and that might fix it. You got to kind of figure out where it's coming from.
Okay.
Or you can teach your wife how to troubleshoot it.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
There you go.
That ain't happening.
All right. So tonight we've got Roy. We've got Roy tonight. Roy is the guitar player. He's in a band.
Good.
Cool guy. He played for us one night. We got Teresa. Teresa is Teresa is an expert camera rolling around person. She's helped us at Huntsville and places.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, he's a pretty unique person there, a friend of mine, and I'm in his wheel for his flex system. I like it. Then we got Douglas. We got Douglas on here. I'm not sure what to think about Douglas. He wears that earphone, looks like a space thing. And we got our friend Bill
There's
here.
Bill.
Bill number 1 there.
And another Bill.
Up in Massachusetts. And then we got the other Bill. Bill, you're
who's in Massachusetts?
Where are you, Bill? You're in North Carolina?
I'm in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Who's in Massachusetts?
What now? You're in Massachusetts?
I am. Hello, sir.
Oh, wait. Bill's in Massachusetts. The other Bill.
I'm XKA4WWG from Virginia.
Yeah. What that Bill is from Massachusetts, and the other Bill, I think, is in North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm ex-Whiskey 1 Alpha Charlie, and I used to be from Massachusetts, but now I enjoy the good life.
Okay, cool.
That's right. He left Massachusetts.
I need to leave tax in New Jersey.
Yeah, he probably did.
All right, well, guys, we had a good time tonight. We got a little off the track.
WNAF. I've heard that call before.
Tom just joined us.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, good evening, George.
Mike.
Hey, there's Mike.
Oh.
So we got a little off track tonight, but we talked about a lot of things. But we hear you. So anyway, hey, look up the FedEx flight. That's a really good show. If you want a real suspense show, it shows just about every bloody fist fight, spear gun, hammer, plane upside down. This goes on for over an hour, and you'll see all that on TV if you'll look at Flight Up. They did a real good job putting the movie together. Did you ever see the movie, Walter? Did they put together the video about the flight?
I saw the real.
It's called Air Emergency.
I saw the real animation.
The real animation.
Yeah, that's
okay.
enough.
All right.
Hey, Walter, are you going to make it to Dayton?
Yeah, I am.
He's coming with us. He'll be in the truck with us. And Freddie's not going to make it this year, so I had to scrape the barrel, and I found Walter to go.
Well, what are you going to do if you have a networking issue?
Well, Walter's not a network guy. He's a pilot. So if we need to fly,
I know. But that's what I'm saying. What are you going to do if you have a networking?
Well, Tommy is networking. Tommy is an IT person. You know, he's worked for me for many years, and he's an IT person. He's not an IT engineer like Freddie, but Tommy knows enough. About routers and networking.
I think you pull someone from the crowd. I can help you too.
Yeah. Well, we'll make it fine.
Walter, what do you think about that engine blowing up and that woman being killed on that Southwestern flight?
That was amazing. That engine just absolutely let go. Those fan blades disintegrated the whole engine. But I thought that the woman who was the captain did a great job.
We were.
The pilot did a fantastic job. I understand.
Walter and I.
How does something like that happen? And how do they not find that when they inspect the engine? And I don't know how they inspect it with the ultrasonic and all that, but why is that not found? Before that happens.
That's a really good question. I think that's something we'd all like to know.
Yeah. Walter and I have been talking about this, and I think this happened, he said, at 35,000 feet. And I've flown, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of flights through my career, but I never really thought about, rapid decompression and how many seconds you have. But Walter's saying that you got about 15 seconds. People can hold their breath longer than that, but it sucks the air out. So he said you got about 15 seconds.
Yeah, but you also saw that all those passengers were putting on their air max, oxygen max on wrong.
Yeah. So how do they survive if they were at 32,000 feet or whatever, and they're all wearing the masks just over their mouth? I mean, how do they not, affect them?
Well, you get some oxygen flowing. I guess if they're breathing through their mouth, that may have saved some of them. But I don't know if you saw much of the news reports, but some of the people were talking about, oh, we were falling out of the sky. Well, that's a great move on the captain's part, because you're trying to get down to where the air is thicker.
Makes sense.
Around 10,000 feet, and I want to get down there as quick as I can. And you better believe I'm going to take whatever action is necessary to get out of altitude and get down to 10,000.
So Walter was telling me he would roll it to the side and aim the nose down and pretty much go down really, really fast, man. But
which is exactly what she did.
As quick as
which I have to admit, this young lady that was flying that plane, she was a Navy jet jock, so she knew what the heck she was doing.
Yeah.
She was so calm on the radio.
Well, another thing to get in, I guess Walter mentioned that you want to get down around 10,000 feet where you start getting that air. And I was calculating the time it would take to get from 35,000 feet down to 10,000, and Walter was talking about a very steep dive, I guess, going down. And that's 25,000 feet. That's 5 miles almost, man. So that would take 4 or 5 minutes to get down to that level going.
What kind of angle would that be? I mean, you're 30 degrees, 45 degree.
Oh, probably 10 or maybe a little more, because what you're probably going to do is you're going to roll it over. From straight and level, I'm going to roll it up probably 30 degrees or so, and that way I can get the nose down quicker, and I'm going to drop the nose, whatever I need to push it over, and that's what we're going to do. But I would imagine
have you ever had to do that?
Somewhere between 10 and 15 would be my initial pitch, probably.
Have you ever had that situation?
In the simulator. We do it every couple of years.
In the simulator, okay.
Yeah. I haven't had that actually in the airplane.
I hope you never do.
Well, thank you. Me too.
But it's just amazing. It's amazing to think, to get down 25,000 feet. That's 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Man, that's a long time.
It is.
Walter also.
Hey, Walter. I remember when I was coming up from where was it? Washington. I was coming up from Washington D.C. into Logan, and we were going along, and I mean you could see the planes ahead of us there, as we were kind of banking around. But there was like 2 or 3 planes ahead of us, all right, and they were coming down, and I mean the ground was coming up, and all of a sudden the plane, the pilot went and hit the power on that rascal, and the next thing I know, the plane is the nose is up, and we're heading off into Never Land. I'm just saying to myself, what the heck is going on here? Well, it appears that the New York Air airplane that landed two planes ahead of time decided he was going to stop about halfway down the runway, and so there was an aborting, if you wouldn't believe, on the landing.
Yeah, that can happen.
So under this decompression, Walter's talking about at 35,000 feet. Tell us again what it's like. It's going to get foggy, and
it's going to get cold and foggy.
It's probably 50 below zero with the window open, and it's going to get.
It's another reason to get down.
How far do you think you can see? A foot or so? I mean,
depends on how quick it goes. So you may see this. You may see 4, 5, 6, 10 feet.
Why did we see so much clarity in the
video?
Cell phone videos? Was that because they probably got down to altitude?
Most likely.
Yeah, that was afterwards.
Yeah, before anyone could figure out what to do with their cell phones, they were already down to 10,000 feet.
Yeah. When something like that happens, the average, and I'm not being disparaging or anything, but your average airline rider doesn't understand a lot of these things, and when that happens, the adrenaline is going to go real high, in everybody, the crew included. But our training kicks in, and that's what takes over. And it'll be a little while before you can get your phone going.
I think when it happens, you don't care where the phone goes, and you got both hands on his armrest, and you're squeezing them like crazy.
That's right. You're white knuckled, and you're ripping the armrests off.
I hope there's a pretty girl next to you and you're kissing her. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but thanks for the information. It's good to know. I mean, probably will never happen to any of us, but it's interesting to know what may take place.
What was it? What were the numbers on that airplane? The airplane itself was 19 years old, and the engine had just been inspected within the last 2 or 3 legs.
Well, it said 30,000 takeoffs and landings.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What I thought I heard.
But I thought that engine had just had a major inspection 2 or 3 flights before that incident.
Well,
I thought it was longer than that.
I guess the age of the aircraft is not a big deal. I mean, well, our B-52s now we're flying. How many years now? That was from the
60s?
Early 60s?
Early 60s, I think.
So that's 40, 50, that's 55 years.
I mean, even Bill was a young man then.
Yeah, they might, the B-52 might make it.
Hell yeah, I was 15 years old in 1965.
In fact, if you remember, the planes back in 1918 had 2 wings, and then we came into the World War II era and we went 1 wing. And the B-52 now has been out there for 65 years.
Yeah.
And I guess the progression is going to go to no wings. We went 2, then 1, and then, maybe in 50 years they won't have any wings. All right,
guys. Walter, are you familiar with how they inspect the fins on those jet, whatever they're called, the turbine or whatever?
The fan blades?
Fan blade?
Not really. I don't have much of a maintenance background. All I know is that sometimes.
But you look in there, don't you?
I'm sorry?
I said you look in there, don't you, Walter? When you're doing your walk around.
I used to when I was a first officer.
We don't. He doesn't walk around anymore.
Yeah, the new guy does the walk arounds.
Yeah, because if it's cold,
all you can see is Eat at Joe's.
He's going to do it anyway. Yeah,
You're
exactly.
not going to see anything. It's not visible with your naked eye.
Yeah. Well, I have seen lines, gauge lines, and measurements and numbers and stuff where they've been blended, and they can blend them. And by that I mean if it's got a little nick, they can smooth it out to where it would run straight.
Gotta go, gentlemen. I've been summoned. 73.
Oh,
right,
73. Good night.
We'll see.
Good night, Bill.
We're going to get off here too. Guys, 73 to everybody. Thanks a lot for watching the show tonight. Next week, we got Glenn Popel here. I think we'll have Rich Morrison from CQ. Katie will be back. And maybe Riley will be back next week when he realizes he missed tonight. 73 to everybody, and we'll see you later. Enjoy.
All right, we'll see you, Kate.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Bye. All right.
All right, so let's see here. All right.